Today, we simplify the easiest and best Hog Rider attack strategy that you can use at Town Hall 12 and how you can earn more 3 stars with the Zap Mass Hog. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and that is right, guys. We're going to be going over the easiest and best Town Hall 12 Hog attack strategy that you can use right now. This is none other than the Zap Hogs. So we want to take a look at a couple things just to simplify this attack for you. Now, we are going to be using a Sui hero more often than not with this attack. So we want to use the lightning spells to get rid of defensive buildings around the clan castle. Anything that is going to help us create some pathing and also get rid of other splash related buildings like the bomb tower, we can easily deal with a lot of that by just using 6 lightning spells and 1 earthquake. Now, the other thing that you may want to look for outside of the enemy clan castle is the enemy heroes. Now, since we're getting rid of the enemy clan castle with the lightning spells, we want to use a Sui hero that's going to get rid of both the enemy queen, enemy king, and the town hall since they're all right in this area. However, if they are not close together, it might be a good idea to use a queen charge. We will be talking about that a little bit more later on, but you can use a queen charge to get rid of the enemy queen while using the headhunters to deal with the enemy king when you send your hog riders in. So that kind of gives you guys a couple good ideas of what you should do if you can't get both heroes. So we're going to start off by just teaching you guys the ZapQuake. This is the most important part of this attack, and it's going to help you become a better attacker. So you want to use the lightning spells kind of not in just one area, but in a multitude of areas to get rid of multiple structures. Now, what you'll see here is we're going to be creating the funnel for our Sui hero. Starting off with the baby dragon, we're carving out a particular area so the pathing for our Sui hero goes in the right direction for the town hall. That's exactly what we want to do. So you'll see the use of 2 ice golems. The reason that we're using the ice golems and the headhunter is to provide more support for the Sui hero so they can get to the town hall. But the ice golems are there to make it a lot easier so the heroes are not taking that much damage initially, and that way it's a lot easier for them to get through the enemy heroes. So you'll see that here, that what we've got is the Sui hero going in. The queen unfortunately won't be able to get rid of the town hall, but the king will be able to work his way back in to deal with this enemy town hall. Now, the other thing that you may want to consider is funneling out for the king. So if the king is going to continue to walk this way, make sure that you're using a couple wizards to funnel him out and force him to go in with using the ability to get rid of the town hall. That way it's a lot easier for the rest of the attack. Now, this is really where you would need to understand using the Hog Riders and the Siege Barrack. Now, the Siege Barrack is going to be used to create a little bit of a funnel and also act as some cleanup. So what we're doing is we're just going to use the Siege Barrack over here just to kind of provide a little bit of support. And while we're doing that, the Hog Riders will pop out from that Siege Barrack to provide more support. Now, on the other side, we're going to be using the Hog Riders down here, and they're going to be moving themselves along this part of the base. However, some of the Hog Riders will split away from the main group and create a little bit of a funnel, getting rid of the Eagle and the Inferno. So those are things that you really want to consider. Consider that they may split if there are multiple defensive structures that could lead them into a different area. So that's exactly what you really want to try and predict when you guys are using this attack. So you'll see that we're dropping in the Siege Barrack up top at 9 o'clock while using the Hogs at 6. Now you'll see that as they're moving into the base, we want to use the ability early as they're going into the multi-inferno and through the eagle shot. This way we're able to provide more support for them within that warden aura. Now, another thing is we're using the heal spells. We need to protect them, so we need to use them on the largest groups. So you'll see that as the Hog Riders split, we're going to focus our heal spells on each of the groups that need it the most. The Hog Riders on the right side needed it the most as they were going through the Eagle and through the multi-target Inferno. These Hog Riders will need it because they're going to be going through the multi-target Inferno because it's a larger group than the other one. So you really want to consider those things as you're driving through. Another big threat to your Hog Riders is gonna be the skeletons from the skeleton traps. So if you're seeing a lot of ground skeletons, you may want to consider using a different attack that is maybe air. So that way you don't have to worry about the skeletons. But if you can get through a base kind of like this, you can provide yourself a lot more value, and you don't really need to worry about the skeletons themselves when you're going through. You could of course use a poison, and that could also help with the rest of the attack. Now that kind of gives you guys a good idea on the surface on how you guys can actually use this. But let's go over a couple things if you don't have access to the siege barrack. Now, if you don't have access to the siege barrack, don't worry, because you also have other options that you can use. You can, of course, use either the wall wrecker or the battle blimp. Both of these go for the town hall, so they're pretty simple stuff to understand. The wall wrecker is going to be a little bit better in terms of handling a little bit more fire. So if you're able to still get rid of the clan castle, maybe anything around there like the expos, then what you can do is you can send in the wall wrecker to deal with the town hall. Now you can of course bring a plethora of different things. If you are going to be using no rage on the clan castle troops that come from the wall wrecker, then you should bring the Yeti and then also some sneaky goblins. However, if you do plan on doing that, then make sure that you go ahead and use 2 Yetis along with that rage spell that you're going to be bringing to deal with the town hall. You always need to do that in case there's too much fire on your Yetis and it's not going to be enough to get rid of the town hall. So you always got to use a rage spell. So the other part about this is just making sure that you're easily getting through. So you'll see the use of the lightning spells and the earthquake on top of the clan castle along with the other structures, and you saw that we did activate the town hall. Why is that? Well, we want to activate it as early as we can in case we have a couple defensive targeting units within there. So we want to make sure that we're able to get some damage, like you see here, a little bit of damage on the town hall. That way it's going to be a little bit quicker to get rid of with the sneaky goblins. So you'll see that as we're getting through the wall, we then have the Yeti and the sneaky goblins, but along with this, we also have barbarians that are there in order to soak up any sort of damage from small bombs that could be around there. Now, there's another option that you can use, whether the town hall is either in the center or it's away from a particular area, but you can still lure out the clan castle. That's going to be using the battle blimp with 2 Yetis in there. This is known as a Yeti bomb, and you're able to get rid of multiple structures, lure out the clan castle, and not just that, get rid of the town hall with pretty much ease. And this is where you would not need to use sneaky goblins, unlike using the wall wrecker in this case. So if you don't want to use a rage spell, use sneaky goblins. If you do, use 2 Yetis. That's just going to give you guys a good idea. But now let's also talk about the creative ways that you can use the lightning spells. Now, what are other options that you can use the lightning spells on other than the clan castle? Well, in this case here, we were able to get rid of the enemy clan castle troops, and we were able to get rid of the town hall thanks to the battle blimp. So we don't have to worry about the clan castle. So what is the next best thing to use the lightning spells on? Well, we can use the lightning on the inferno towers. 5 lightning and 1 earthquake is enough to take down an inferno, along with that an expo. So we can use that to get rid of any other structures that we really want to get rid of, along with weakening down a couple other structures. So we're going to be using a queen charge here to get rid of the enemy queen that is right in this part of the base. So we're creating the funnel here with the king, and we want our queen to walk into this part of the base this direction. That way it's a lot easier for her to get some really good value. And we want to support her by getting through these expos by using the lightning spells on the Inferno Tower, along with weakening up a couple of the expos because they take a couple less shots to get through. So that kind of gives you a really good idea of what you should be doing if you're going to use the lightning spells on an Inferno Tower to support your queen. However, you can of course go ahead and use the lightning spells on an entire Inferno compartment to create a little bit more pathing. You can do this in really any type of base design that has something like that. And for the most part, it works really well with both Lavaloon and with Hog Riders. Since they only go for defensive structures, you can get a lot of value from them. Now that's just going to give you guys a really good idea of using the ZapQuake in a creative way, not just using it on the CC. But now let's also talk about what if there's not that much ZapQuake value on the base. Now, if there's not that much zap value on the base, it might be better to add a queen charge. Take a look at what we can get by using the queen charge. Now, normally, if you're going to be using the lightning spells, you want to mainly look at something like this. But if you also take a look at that, the pathing is a little bit more awkward. So we don't want to do that. But instead, you may also want to look at the value that you can get rid of by just charging your queen into this large open compartment here. We can get rid of things like the Town Hall, enemy clan castle troops, Inferno Tower, enemy king, enemy queen, and the Eagle artillery. That's a lot of value just going into that big open compartment here, and that's exactly what you want to try and take advantage of. That way the pathing is not compromised and you're able to easily move through. So you really want to make sure that you're trying to do that. So for starters, you want to create the funnel for the queen. This can be done by using a baby dragon, and you can also use the king if you find that you need to create the other side of the funnel for the queen. So you'll see in this case, we're going to use the king just like how I said. Now the other thing that you're going to be doing is getting your queen to go in. So using the super wall breakers or regular wall breakers to break in is going to be where this attack is going to really help you, and this part of the attack is really going to help. So you'll see that we're going to use the headhunters to support the queen so we don't have to use a rage spell. This is more often than not a great use for the headhunters, so try to bring that if you are going to do so. So you'll see that we're going to be stepping up now, and we're going to step up to deal with the Town Hall. We're going to deal with the multi-target Inferno, and we're going to be able to get through the enemy clan castle troops with the poison. So you'll see that we're going to be able to easily deal with the enemy clan castle and the Town Hall with ease with the queen raged up, making sure that she's not taking too much damage, and that way we're able to still easily move through, and we're able to also deal with the enemy clan castle, along with that, the enemy queen. So that kind of gives you guys a really good idea of what you should try to do if you don't have enough zap value and you're brave enough to do a queen charge. Now let's also talk about the hog riders, along with that, the pathing and spells. So now finally, let's talk about the hog rider pathing. We didn't mention it too much in the first example, the first replay, but here we're going to give you guys a better idea of it. So in this case, if we zoom out, we got rid of a particular area of the base right here. This means that we've already created one particular side of the funnel. On the other side here, we can then send all of our hogs in for these defensive structures, making this pathing kind of like this all the way into the base. Sometimes it would be a good idea to also have a couple extra hog riders to kind of use to support the hog riders that are already being sent in, and that's exactly what you really want to consider doing. You won't have CC hog riders to help, so that means that you are really relying on your hog riders if you're using something like a wall wrecker or the battle blimp. So you really want to consider those things. We're also going to talk about spells as we get through this major part. So you'll see here that we're going to be sending in majority of our hog riders into the Inferno Tower. And this is where we're going to be using our first heal spell. That way we're basically keeping our hog riders alive as they push in, and we can use the Warren ability as they get closer into the area of higher DPS right around a key defense like the Eagle artillery. So you'll see that we also use a couple more hogs to help support the pathing as they continue to move through. And we want to use the heal spells over the biggest group of hogs, and then if you have a second group of hogs that's being targeted by something like the Eagle, then you could use the heal spell on them, knowing that you only have a couple more splash-related buildings remaining. Outside of this, you can really easily get comfortable with knowing the spells in terms of using the heal spells, along with that, knowing how to use the Grand Warden ability. Another thing that you may want to worry about is going to be a Troll Tesla like you see here. Troll Teslas are sometimes common in certain bases, but they can always be a big threat if you take a lot of time with other parts of your attack, and that is the final thing that is remaining. So you really got to be very careful about those things, so make sure you bring like a balloon or something to deal with it. Other than this though, guys, that's going to really sum up everything that you need to know about the Zap Hog Riders, the easiest and best Town Hall 12 Hog Rider attack. So if you guys enjoyed, let me know in the comments below what you thought on this video. Let me know what you want to see next here on the channel, and I will try to bring that for you guys. Another thing is, make sure you guys go ahead and join my community Discord server. The link to that is in the description, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more educational yet entertaining Clash of Clans content. Another thing is, make sure that you guys go ahead and follow me over on the social, and make sure that you guys use code CorruptYT in the Clash Champ shop to save 10% off your purchase. Other than that though, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.